The basketball addicts are back at it, breaking down the 2015 MVP race. It turned out not to be much of a race. I mean, this was like Roger Bannister versus the field. I mean, it's unfair when you think about it. But let's get into it. The voting. The media, they vote. You know, certain people have a right to decide. Steph Curry was better than James Harden. He had 130 first-place votes, guys. James Harden only had 25. I'm surprised at the disparity voting. Is anyone else here on this panel surprised that James Harden didn't get more love for being... Okay, I won't even get into it.
No.
He was the most valuable player.
Look, Harden had an amazing year. There's no question about it, and he rightfully finished second. But Curry took a squad that lost in the first round of the playoffs last year, and his play, more than anything else, elevated them to the best team in the league in the regular season. He's got the stats, the leadership. I'm not going to say he's the best one-on-one defensive player.
The argument right now is not Steph Curry. Well, Steph Curry is not the MVP. It's, was the voting more lopsided than you anticipated? Did you think?
No.
No? Okay, fine. I
said Curry all year. Fine, I'm not talking.
Donovan, no. Gareth, get in here.
No, it was, to me, a blessing that finally we got the voting right. I mean, in, what was it, six-man, someone voted for Taj Gibson, and someone voted for Mo Spates, who were not the best bench players on their own individual
Probably
teams.
Local reporters.
Probably, but finally we said, listen, clearly he was the most efficient offensive and defensive player in relation to Harden. So although they're close players, clearly he had the best year.
Gareth Wheeler, before you chime in here, I have a different question for you.
Okay.
I know you want to, but I think you like this one.
Okay, buddy.
What actually is the criteria for MVP?
The best player in the league.
Is that?
But
the name, it's called the most. Why don't they call it the best player award?
I don't care. I call it the best player award.
But no one else does. They call it the most valuable.
Issue, but they got it right, to both these gentlemen's points. It wasn't the most valuable scorer, because that would have gone to James Harden.
So what? Steph Curry was out there locking people up?
No, he was the best player on the best team in this league. And you can make the argument that his play was the most decisive on a nightly basis for his team's success. Take Steph Curry away from the Golden State Warriors. They're not a 62-win team. They're not losing 2 games at home all year.
That's the point.
If you take Harden away from Houston, where are they?
Most valuable
As much as I can't stand Dan being right, he's right, guys.
But that's okay. But there's no right or wrong.
No, there is. I'm right, you're wrong.
Voting. I just love the story when it comes to Steph Curry. We remember him shooting hoop at the ACC when his dad Dell played here. A product of Davidson, 6'3", 190, a small man. No one gave him a chance.
Dwayne,
he goes out there and he's the best player in the NBA this season.
Moving on.
I love the story. I love his play.
And that's why he gets votes.
Moving on to the show we're doing right now. Okay, let's talk about something else. Gareth, the Warriors are playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Who you got? How many games?
I like the Golden State Warriors in 5. In 5, I think the Golden State Warriors by far are the best team in the Western Conference. I can see them just steamrolling.
Yeah.
Well, especially with the injuries that have taken place and the way that things have unfolded. Especially like the Spurs were always going to be the X factor in the West, just because they've been there, done that. You got to knock off the best to be the best. But this Golden State Warriors team, like I said, over the regular season, they only lost 2 games out on home court. Like, how does that happen? Like, this team, I can't see them losing a 7-game series.
I want to send a special mention to Alvin Gentry. He's doing a great job coaching that team. All right, I'm a real Warriors hater. Okay, here we go now. Let's get into it. I want to know your thoughts on who's taking this series. Did Memphis have a chance? Even without Conley? No.
Warriors.
Snowballs in the sun.
Come out and play. Yeah, no. They don't have a chance. I mean, as you saw in Vegas, styles make fights. And I think...
Or make not fights.
Sure, true enough. And I think that stylistically, of the 3 teams that they could have faced at this point, the Warriors are the worst matchup for the Grizzlies. They control the pace, and I don't see, specifically with Conley hurt, we'll see how.
I was going to say, because that's my next question for Dan, is like, would this be a closer series if their floor general was there? Because let's face it, he's one of the most underappreciated players in the league. If you don't like them or not, you don't like the way they play, he's the thing that allows them to play that inside.
Conley's a really nice point guard, but he's not in the class of Steph Curry, and Curry would run circles around him the same way he's running circles around whoever's in there for the Grizzlies, Calathis or whatever. The Grizzlies' advantage over other teams is size and in the paint. And with Golden State, with Lee and Bogut, that's nullified as well. Memphis has they have no advantage whatsoever in this series, and with their point guard out, they don't know who's scoring the ball. Gasol's kind of like the point center. Warriors in 4, maybe 5. They're unbeatable.
It's about style. Yeah. And you're bang on. I just don't see how the Grizzlies can slow down the Warriors.
All right.
Like other teams have tried to do it. They just
Yeah.
can't do it.
Okay, still more to come. We still got to talk more Western Conference playoffs. We got to talk about your boy D. Howe, the guy that ran out of LA. Remember him? Well, he's in Houston, and he's in the playoffs, and they need something big from him. Can he put it down? The Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Clippers without Chris Paul on the floor. Can they get it done? Find out. Hangout.